And we're back for Season 3 and possibly even Season 4, depending on how fast I can get these seasons done, of the Detroit Lions rebuild, the 0 overall rebuild until Super Bowl. So, if you guys did not watch last episode, we went over Seasons 1 and 2. This will be Seasons at least 3, maybe 4. And we had one of the best off seasons I've had in a while. Granted, it was due to Madden's dumb free agency AI signings. Our running backs are looking good now with a young group of talented guys. If this was the real NFL, they would perform just fine with all three of them getting playtime. But it's Madden, so it's not going to look as good as it should. Wide receivers, though, Terry McLaurin and Tyreek Hill coming to the team, both going to be very, very impressive and ultimately going to sway, us into the playoffs. Juwan Johnson and Kane Smith, both tight ends. They both look decent enough. Terrell Applewhite's going to be playing left tackle. Billy Turner, left guard. Center is Mac Bradford. Right guard is Jarvis. I'm just going to call him Baby. Jarvis Baby. And then Teddy Harris, the right tackle. We also have John Johnston there, or John Johnson. Dexter Lawrence and Jeffrey Simmons were both signed this offseason. Last offseason, we signed Tim Settle. We drafted Greg Denton this year. We also drafted James Gardner and Robert Saunders in these back-to-back years. They both look about the same. Justin Houston here as well. And then Rick Nick, Shannon Sullivan, and Sean Davis, and Darren Billingsley will all be playing corner for us this year. Free safety is Dwayne Wolf, if you guys do not recognize the last name. We're just going to go with the storyline that him and the wide receiver are brothers. So we drafted them in the same draft class to the same team. Nolan McDonald looks pretty good as well. Heading into the season, Tyler Bass and James Park. This team looks pretty decent besides the backups, of course, as I don't want to make this too easy where I can just go out and sign a bunch of free agents. I don't get practice squad players at the end of the year either. So, let's hop into it. I'll see you guys at the midway mark. Okay, after the mid-season mark, I've been going week by week so I can upgrade players when I want to, and I can make sure I get all the scouting stuff done and everything. We are 4-4, bottom of the division, tied with the Bears, but it's kind of understandable when everybody else has been progressing and I've been, not really doing much. I feel like the Packers have to have somebody else at their fucking QB. They can't be 7-0 with, I think, Jordan Love running the show. There's no fucking way, I feel like. I just don't think they have a good enough team for that. They must have somebody at quarterback. They must have... Who was the other quarterback that was in free agency? They don't have anybody at... They do have Jordan Love at quarterback, and they have Trubisky and Cam Newton. Okay. And they're 7-0 somehow. Okay. Well, we're 4-4. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. There's nothing really to report on. Our players are progressing. That's really about it. We have been winning games recently, though. I think we've won 2 in a row, and I think 3 of our last 4, so we are making progress. Okay, since one of the biggest things was us not making the playoffs, I figured, screw it, I may as well just go past the playoffs since we were going to finish 6-11 anyways. I figured there's no point in me stopping in the playoffs and just rambling on. So, we're at the end of the season. I have not upgraded since week 17, so there should be some upgrades. It will always say upgrades because 12 overalls have upgrades. We're going to go ahead and check stats out real quick as the Ravens beat the Packers. And we have 153 staff points, so that is cool. Aaron Rodgers looked to have a decent season. It was probably the run game and the defense that didn't have a great season. Rodgers, 4,500 yards, 32 touchdowns, 17 picks. Linton, 900 yards, 9 touchdowns. Gaskins, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns. The averages just aren't good. Once we can get those above 400, that would be pretty dope. And we have 3 dudes go over 1,000 yards receiving. With Tyreek over 1,000, 4 touchdowns. McLaurin over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Juwan Johnson over 1,000, 7 touchdowns. And our rookie wide receiver, Max Wolf, almost 800 yards and 9 touchdowns. So, hell of a season from our wide receivers. Blocking does not matter. Gardner still putting up fucking amazing numbers. 139 tackles. Fucking dope. 11 sacks for Jeffrey Simmons, 10.5 for Justin Houston, 6 for Denton, 2.5 for Lawrence, and 2.5 for Settle. If you guys did not see, Settle did get star development, so that should help, even though I think he is 27 now, but we do have him on a long-term deal. Rick Nick got 3 picks, James Gardner 2, McDonald 2, Saunders 2, Davis 2, and Chandon Sullivan 1. And let's see here. I don't think we got any defensive touchdowns. No defensive touchdowns. 1 safety for Simmons. 1 block kick for Houston. So some major retirements: Sam Cook, Adam Thielen, Carlos Dunlap, Brett Kern, Demario Davis, Kelsey, Johnson, Gronk, Morstead, Pugh, Brady, Jones, Ryan, Flacco. An end of an era in the NFL has basically just retired. So, figured I'd share this. I figured I shouldn't go completely ham on this free agency either, as we had no re-signs available because, everybody was started on 7-year deals, and our first set of rookies aren't up for new contracts yet. So, we had like $100 million, so we're going to be spending about $50 million. Trevon Diggs, I think if we can get him for 3 years, I think it would be dope. Von Miller, good piece for a year or 2. Taylor Lewan, same deal. Some of these guys are younger, which will stick around for a while, and some of them are older, so they'll be out sooner, but will be good pieces for at least a couple years. So I'm only going after 15 guys. If somebody gets a contract offer and decides not to sign with me, I will go ahead and try to sign somebody else. All signings will be reported at the end of free agency, and then we'll get into the draft. Okay, we got a decent amount of stuff. We ended up getting Von Miller, Taylor Lewan, Darnay Holmes, Albert O, Jerry Tillery, Marlon Davidson, Kenny Robinson, Shaquem Griffin. I'm just going to call him Double O. Aaron Brewer and Buddy Johnson. So we filled plenty of backup positions, and even some of the backup positions are youth. Like, they're not super terrible. Edge rusher is still going to be a problem going into next year. Von Miller, hopefully he can play well. Hopefully Houston can still back up well. And we didn't have to spend a whole ton of money, I don't think. So we're heading into the draft. Only a few positions really need, correcting. And we can always use backups at other positions, but I think we're in a very good situation going forward. With having 3 picks in the top 10, we have a pick at 4, 6, and 9. We're in very good position to ultimately remake this team and turn it into an absolute beast. I was thinking about taking a quarterback that I did have scouted, but he already went off the board, so we're probably just going to take best available. Chandon Sullivan for this left tackle from Miami. He's 26. We're not going to keep him. What we're doing is trading for a bigger piece here. I want to do this before I trade off any of my picks. So I know we're trading with a division rival. I try not to trade with division rivals, but when literally the only team that has interest in both Billy Turner and Eddie Escobar is the Packers, you kind of have to go to them. So we're trading a 3 this year, Billy Turner and Eddie Escobar for their 1 this year, and then 2 players for cap reasons. I'm trying to flip this pick into a position of need. Trade with the Vikings here. We are trading up 8 spots. We're also trading away Drew Lock. There's no point in keeping him on our bench. So it's going to give him a chance to go play. This will for sure get me who I want. Or at least I'm hoping. I don't know. I keep getting closer and closer, and it's like not really doing anything. So with a super wild trade, we are trading for Quentin Nelson and Jonathan Taylor on the same trade. 299s for 3 picks in the first. That's why I was trading up. I didn't want to give up 3 top 10 picks for these 2 dudes. Now, granted, in real life, it would probably take 3 or 4. I would say 3 number 1s. I think it would take 3 number 1s. Because there would be probably 2 for Quentin Nelson, 1 for Jonathan Taylor, and then probably a day 2 pick thrown in somewhere, as well as a replacement lineman. But can't trade that much in Madden, so here we go. Okay, I'm trading down with the Panthers here. Maybe saying, why are you doing that? Isn't there somebody on your board? Yeah, it was a running back. I was going to plan on taking a running back. But we just traded for one, so we don't need one. we're trading down with the Panthers. We're going to be able to take my center a little bit earlier than expected. We get a pick of next year and then a 3 of next year. And you may be saying, the Cardinals are offering you a 2 of this year. Why don't you just take that? The reason being is because I want to pick a next year. I already have a couple second-round picks. I don't need more. Okay, so I was looking for a draft, a group of draft picks to trade down again. I just don't have anybody in the first I want to take, and if I can drop back 8 picks to my second-round pick and take my center then, because he's projected 2nd through 3rd, I'm hoping he lasts. He should. I'm going to take Chicago's. It gets me a 1 of next year, gets me a 3, so I don't have to use my second-round pick, another second-round pick, on a player that's not projected to go till day 5. So that's great. Okay, the Chiefs really want this pick. I was going to pick the Browns or the Titans, who are offering me a 2 and a 3, but the Cowboys are offering me a 1 and a 4, and the Chiefs are offering me a 1, 4, and a 7. And since they're both projected to be about 31st, 32nd, I don't think it really matters all that much, so I'm taking the Chiefs here. So I'm just going to trade down. The center that you are currently seeing on your screen that the Bucs just took, that's my center. I thought he would last 2 more picks. He did not. So I'm trading down this pick. Just going to go in real quick, pick something. Just anything that has 2 20-25 picks, I'm going to take. Unless somebody's offering me a 1st of next year. Which the Cardinals are. Cowboys, you still offering that package? Yep, cool. I'm taking yours then. Jamario Bayless out of Georgia. Good speed, good acceleration, good physical traits. He's going to be an edge rusher. He won't start right away, more than likely, but he should be very good for us in the future. Terrell Atkins, another edge rusher here for us. He's a little bit slower, but he definitely has more agility and strength. He'll be moving up to either left outside linebacker or right outside linebacker, whichever one I decide. They'll be playing opposite of each other and backing up the 2 stars of Von Miller and Greg Denton. Going to make a deal with the Cardinals here. They're offering me a 3 for a 4 of this year. So, it makes the most sense. Once again, another team is offering me a 3 for my other 4 of this year. It just makes more sense to take this than try to force something. So, drafting Keon Boyle, defensive tackle out of Wyoming, 6'6", 303, 22 years old. Run stopper, looks pretty amazing for a defensive tackle. He'll slide into that backup role behind Tim Settle and maybe even take over in a year or 2. Andrew Nelson, we need another corner. He looks good enough. I didn't have him fully scouted, but he did have decent man coverage from what I saw. Ramon Kershaw, defensive tackle out of Cincinnati, 6'6", 301, 22 years old. Looks about the same as the last defensive tackle we took, so they might be competing for that secondary job behind Tim Settle. Good height as well. Zach Kowalski is a shot in the dark. The final dude I had on my board was hoping he wouldn't, but he did. I don't feel like trading down this pick, so strong safety out of Georgia. Not our best draft class in the world, but all things considered, having to trade down numerous picks, trading up in the draft so we can get a running back and a left guard. Multiple things, trading down, some of our guys getting taken. There was a tight end on the board. There was a center. There was a running back at one point. There was multiple guys on our board. These were really only the remaining ones besides the strong safety. That was just more of a shot in the dark. He'll end up making the team. The team's not great right now. He'll end up making the team so we just don't face a penalty. Everything else, though, D tackles, they're a lot further apart than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were both going to be 69-70. Apparently, Boyle's a lot better, and Kershaw's a lot worse than I thought. Corner's about where I thought he would be, a little bit lower, and then the 2 edge rushers. You don't really get many good edge rushers after the first round. So, beginning of the season, we still had Herbert, we still had Eckenberg, and we brought in this other linebacker. James and Jefferson are probably just going to be released for all I care. Zaven Collins will be our new middle linebacker. So.